Hey everyone, Halloween is here. And if you are like me, it's scary simply because there's sugar everywhere. And trying to give up sugar, which of course is my why from my previous post. And so this is very difficult. How do we avoid sugar during Halloween? Okay, stay with me because I will be providing 8 tips that I'm gonna incorporate to make sure that I do not put a Milk Dud or a Milky Way or a Twix in my mouth. And so hopefully this will apply to you too. Okay, here we go, let's get started. All right, tip number 1, I'm planning ahead. I'm like, okay, tomorrow we're having a big party at our house. Tomorrow's actually Halloween. So we're having a big party at our house. Everybody's probably gonna go trick-or-treating. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We enjoy the community, the sense of camaraderie with friends. There's lots of really fun times to be had, but I am planning ahead. I'm planning ahead with my menu because everybody's gonna come over our house afterwards, and I'm gonna make sure that I have enough of a spread on hand that I can enjoy a meal with everyone and yet it be healthy and not have sugar in it. And so if I plan ahead, if I know what's gonna happen, like I know I'm gonna go trick-or-treating with everyone, I know I'm gonna be walking the neighborhood, I know that, we're gonna come back and we're all gonna eat. And so if I just, in my journaling, which I talked about last video, and I'll probably make another video just on journaling, but in my journaling, I try to make sure that I jot down not just what I ate the day before, but in this instance, I plan ahead. It's like, okay, Janice, what can you do to be successful? What can you do? And part of the planning is just admitting that this is gonna be a fun night, but it's also going to be a challenge. But that does not mean that we're going to cave. It just means that we have to plan ahead. Okay, tip number 2, enjoy the festivities and keep busy, okay? Enjoy the festivities. With me, I've already planned. I'm going to go walking the entire neighborhood. So I have a teenage son, and he and all of his buddies still enjoy trick-or-treating, okay? And I love that. And so I'm gonna walk the whole neighborhood with them. My husband's gonna be driving. We have we're gonna put hay and like our trailer, and it's gonna be a great time, but I'm gonna walk it. And so if I keep myself busy, that is going to help me not be focused. In the past, I've done the driving, and if I'm doing the driving through an entire neighborhood for 2.5 hours, I am going to want to snack, okay? But if I keep myself busy, keep myself preoccupied and focused on doing something else, my mind space is going to be focused on something else other than the candy. And so that is actually going to help me. So keep busy. What can you do to just keep yourself focused? And so maybe you're gonna be staying in your house handing out candy, okay? And so if that's the case, what can you do in between that doorbell ringing or that trick or treat that you cannot be focused on that delectable bowl of candy that you have at your door, okay? All right, tip number 3, don't buy what you won't use. Okay, don't buy it. And that goes into actually tip number 4. I'm gonna put them together, 3 and 4, because tip number 4 is buy treats that you don't prefer. This is huge, and it really works, okay? So for instance, I'm not a big sucker fan, okay? But I know that, little suckers are great for the little kids, but you're gonna have teens come at your door. And so I'm like, suckers like Tootsie Pops or Blow Pops or things like that. They're great little candies for the kids and for the teens, but they're not really a big temptation to me. I'm not a big sucker fan. And so I will have a bowl full of things like that. So is there something, here's another idea, like something like Snickers. Like I don't eat nuts. And so I know, right? Nuts are so healthy, but I don't eat them. But so having something like that where I could give that out, could work as well. And so what is it that you just don't really prefer? And get that. And then also don't overbuy what you're not gonna use. If you normally have about 10 kids at your house, don't buy like 3 or 4 bags. What can you get that you think is specifically going to be used? For me personally, I would rather run out of candy. And I know that that's horrible because the kids want candy. But I would rather run out than have overflow. But that's just me. Okay, so tip number 5. Now this is pretty specific to me, but I'm telling you it works. And that is this: chew mint gum. So I know that's really silly, but whenever I'm going to an event where I don't know what's going to be there, and this has happened since I've started my health journey, I will pop a piece of extra sugar-free mint gum in my mouth. And the mint, mint with sugar doesn't mesh very well. And so for me, it's great. I can just chew. I enjoy mint gum, and it's sugar-free. And if I do that, I am not inclined to pick up something that is sweet because it's not going to taste good. Even if I spit the gum out, you have that after effect of the mint in your mouth. And so it doesn't taste good to me. And so I just will chew mint gum. So I've already planned ahead, and tomorrow I will be chewing mint gum the entire walk through the neighborhood so that I, have a mouthful of mint, and I'm not going to want to reach for that sweet. All right. Tip number 6 is take the candy and give it away. So let's talk about your kids come back and they have a pile of candy now. All right. My son loves this, and so I don't want to take it away from him. But at the same time, we all know that there's going to be candy that they're probably not going to eat. We know this just from past experience. Some of y'all probably still have buckets of candy from last year, so y'all know who you are. And so anyways, if you haven't gotten rid of it yet, here's your reminder, get rid of it. But when you get that candy, have your child, your teen, whoever, go through it, pick the ones they want, the ones they don't want. The ones they don't want, put it in a baggie and maybe take it to work with you, or, give it to people at church or something like that. Just get rid of it. Some of you're completely okay with throwing it in the garbage. I'm always like, who would want this? I don't want to throw away it in the garbage, even though sugar is really bad for people. Yeah, my mind's a little weird. So another thing you could do is put them in baggies and decide how many pieces of candy you would want your child to eat. And so take 3 or 4 pieces, put it in a baggie, like a zip baggie, and then put them away out of sight. So that way, they can have 1 baggie a day, let's say, or something like that. And then, if it's in the baggies, even do a count. And tell your teen or your child, mommy's not going to be touching this. So, if you see there's a bag missing, you get on me. And so that might help you keep it in perspective as we move past Halloween. All right, tip number 7. Oh, that was tip number 7. Create treat bags with 3 to 4 pieces of candy in it. And then that's it per day for your child or for your children. And then if for some reason you do want to indulge a little bit, because 1 piece of candy. So for those of you who are not a sugar addict, you might be able to monitor your portions. For me, because I am a sugar addict, I don't know how to say no. So I would literally, I could eat a half a bag of Oreos. It's not healthy for me. So I have to have that line in the sand. But if you can have 1 little piece a day and then be done and you can walk away from it, that's amazing. I envy you, but portion it that way. And then the last one is simply this: keep it out of sight. Keep it out of sight. Have your child keep it out of sight. And then leave it alone. Leave the goodies alone. If it's out of sight, you're not thinking about it. And then you could just chew your mint gum and get past it. And so hopefully these tips, this is what I'm going to practice tomorrow for Halloween. Halloween doesn't have to be scary when we're on a health journey. Halloween is really, for us, we have a really big sense of community. It's not even about the ghosts and goblins. It's really just about everybody kind of comes out into the streets of our neighborhoods and just really has a fun time. And I did not want to take away from that beautiful experience because I have given up sugar. I wanted to plan ahead, think ahead, and basically charge forward, have a good time, but at the same time, keep my health a priority. And so I hope that these tips for Halloween helped you to put them in the comments if there's something that I forgot that you do to kind of avoid falling into temptation for Halloween or any holiday. And of course, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I hope you all have a great and blessed week and enjoy Halloween.